GRYSKLL. That's what's so fascinating. I mean, to hear y'all talk about some of the people y'all met. I mean, that's what I feel like the East Coast is like. I mean, being on that side of town or the map, you know what I'm saying? You're liable to run into more people at colleges and doing shows, whereas everything was so home cooking here. We didn't get a chance to meet too many people at all.
I got lucky, man. I was looking for a party one night. A true story. I was looking for a party one night and happened to walk into the Syracuse College radio station. And, somehow we was talking to like the on-air personality at the time, and one of my people said something about rapping, and he was like, "Oh, you rap? Come on, I'll put you on the radio right now." Challenge me, you know what I mean? Let's do it. So from there, we kind of formed a friendship. We actually ended up being roommates, but through him, I ended up meeting the cats that had they had the Saturday night show, which was actually the most popular radio show in Syracuse. The college station had it. So then they made me a part of the show.
Wow.
So I was like an unofficial, official on-air personality.
Okay.
So from there, anybody that came to town to perform, I kind of got to meet. So it's a tape looking around of me and Kool G Rap rhyming together on the radio.
Quit playing.
Nice.
Look at this.
So that doesn't really influence my decision about G Rap's position on the Symphony. But yeah, like, and I'm also not implying at all that our bars were aligned. You know what I'm saying? But like, I remember at the end, he was like, "Yo, you all right, young boy?" Like, and he wasn't really that much older than me, but like, to me, that was like, you know, like, damn, G Rap kind of was like I said something and kind of saw the little eyebrow raised, and that was all I was in it for. After that, I was like, I'm good. Yeah.
What? Man, that's crazy.
And the real funny thing is that tape was in my car when my car got broken into. Did I tell y'all the story about when I came outside, my back seats were sitting on the side of my car? Yeah. I had a little Ford Festiva hatchback with like 15s in it. Asking to garage, or asking no tent, nothing. Left a club one night, banging, boom, boom. Bro, I woke up the next morning to go to work, and my back seat was sitting beside my car.
Damn.
They took the back seat out to get the 15s out.
That's nice.
And they took my radio, and the tape was in the radio. So everybody's like, "Yo, you know, you ain't mad you got robbed." I'm like, the only thing I really cared about was that tape. Like, I can't, all the other stuff I can replace. I can't get that tape back. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, G Rap was, that's kind of probably my biggest claim to, like, and then it was wild because like Syracuse ain't really that big, so you go to the mall and everybody, "Yo, that's the da 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 da." Like, yeah.
Were you calling yourself Wonder Down back then?
Nah, I was probably at that time probably Small Wonder or
Small Wonder, really? How about that? That's very interesting. Elaborate on that, sir, please.
Vicky.
Right.
Yo, I was small, and in my head, I was a lyrical wonder. You know, small.
Okay, all right.
But it was WONDA. You know what I'm saying? Like, just to.
Okay.
You can't spell anything right in hip hop. So.
Oh no! Yeah. All right.
Can't it was either that, or I might have been the KR, because like I was, like I called myself Kid Rock and like the.
Okay, I think you did. I remember you saying that. Okay, yeah, all right. The KR, I like that.
Yeah. But yeah, $1 is actually probably not even 10 years old. Like, as far as me using it, it's probably like the last 6 or 7 years. Yeah. Before that, I was Inkwell. So, like
Inkwell, boy, you get more interesting as the pages turn. Oh my goodness, that is hilarious.
And it's funny, like Inkwell was probably the name I should have stuck with. Actually, what happened, my Instagram, my first Instagram was my name is Inkwell. Kind of like, A Tribe Called Quest. You got to say the whole thing. So, like, my first Instagram was my name is Inkwell. It through some discussion, it just got to a point where it was not in my best interest to keep that name for some personal reasons. So I started DJing as One to Dial, and then I was like, bump it, I'm gonna just kind of keep One to Dial. So so like everybody, like most of my people from Jersey still call me Inkwell though.
Okay. Yeah. All right. Yeah. Wow. Q, any interesting names for you, sir? What'd you start off? I mean, you dropped a single in the 90s. You had to have something. What was on that single?
Which one was I? So at one point I was Bones.
Bones?
That's when I met you. I met you were Bones.
With the Z. With the Z, yeah.
Again, you can't spell anything the right way in hip hop.
You can't spell anything the right way. I went from Bones, and then I had Bones the Infinite. Don't ask. And then from there, I went to Ipsissimus, because I was on some like studying sorcery and shit like that, and I was listening to death metal or whatever. So yeah, Ipsissimus then became Ipsissimus the Savage God, which then turned to Savage God, but also spelled incorrectly.
This is getting darker every time. Every name change, get more villain.
Yeah, pretty much. I was an extreme anti-hero.
Okay.
Say that.
So now Media Pimp seems kind of normal, like what?
Yeah, right.
Yeah, that's tone. That's toned down.
Yeah, Media Pimp was when I discovered that I was like good at other things outside of music and started exploring those, and Media Pimp came about. That was actually my first company name, but I never actually made it official. I just went, like, I put that on my business card and stuff, but I got crazy clients. So I was like, oh, I could ride with this.
Yeah, that's very catchy.
What made it worse though was my logo at the time. I had a neighbor who had a nice body come over with her nicest boots on and nothing else. And I snapped her in a pose to make the Media Pimp logo.
That's dope. Wow.
But
that's mean.
Like I went corporate with that logo, with that company. Like I went corporate.
Right.
I had people like corporations, like actual official businesses coming to me and giving me checks made out to Media Pimp Studios.
That's right.
I was like, this is the shit.
Wow.
That's when I realized, like, I don't have to turn my black off. I don't have to do anything different. I can be who I am.
Yeah.
And still
just be good at it.
Good business. And it worked. Wow. I've been black as shit since.
I've been pimping since pimping been pimping. All right.
I don't like Forrest Whitaker's neck because this.
Baby powder.
What about you, Damon?
Right, come on with it. Come on with it. Right.
What's been a Damon Deshaun name?
What? Oh, I didn't have too many. It was always.
I'm a demon.
Yeah, demon. It was always. Dope. It was demon from demon to like I told you, I was in Logan Square around with this Hispanic cat, so it went from demon to Diablo.
Okay, I remember you saying that.
That stuck for a long time. So then it turned into, so Mexicans would say Diablo, but then Puerto Ricans would say Di and Blow would be two separate names. So then it went from Diablo to Blow. And then Di is day and Blow means like fuck the day. So at night. So then that was pretty much it. Diablo up until that demon, I dropped that demon song and then get the I'mADemon.com and all that other stuff. So up until I wrote with it was something else in between. Desir. That was a funny one.
It was that from?
But I used to tag Desir. Desir means to speak, like Keke Desir. Like, like, what do you mean? Or what does that mean? You know what I'm saying? So Desir.
That's a Spanish word?
Yeah, Spanish word.
Wow.
Okay.
So I would tag.
DECIR.
Yeah, you heard right.
I'm supposed to remember that shit.
I used to tag that, but then then it went from Deceive to Decipher. I used to tag Decipher sometimes. So I took Deceive for a little while. I ran with that. So it was always around the D, the fourth letter. Rakim was with the 18th letter, so I would do something around the D and all that stuff. So then just landed on Demond Deshawn. Oh, because my other boy named Demond, so we would be D&D combo. We just always freestyle.
Wow.
So, but he jumped up and took the monster. So D Manstar is what he called this stuff. I'm like, damn, he had
that's dope. That's dope. Okay.
Right. I was like, man, that's dope. But before that, he was Muddy Wolf. So it was Muddy Wolf and Diablo. That's what we call ourselves. So that was it. So that's how people know us in the streets. That was people that they was like stealing our mixtapes and all that stuff. So we just record, throw them out on the street, make 2 or 3 bag up copies, let the crew have them and all that stuff. So we Muddy Wolf and Diablo. So that ran for a long time. So
that's dope, yeah.
So the D&D,
dope as hell.
That's dope. That was really dope. I even like the Muddy Wolf because he took that from the Wolf.
From Muddy.
Right. Exactly.
We gonna hear him on any of your joints, man?
Muddy.
He still rhyme?
He still rhyme. I don't know. I've been trying to get him in the studio, back in the studio, but like I said, somebody passed away. That was his sister. That was his sister. Yeah.
Oh, that's okay.
His sister passed away. They kind of raised him. So exactly. So I'm
condolences, bro.
Yes, I'm hoping that this gives him. I sent him some beats this week too.
Good.
Okay, now this is where you man up. I get it. We talking about it. We really talking about it, but not really talking about it. I get it. Maybe you can get back in the studio. Here's the beat, a track or two. But he did hit me back. Man, I can't open it. That's good. That's good.
At least you know you're trying to look for it.
You're trying to open it now. Before it's like, man, I ain't messing with the internet and all that other stuff. Oh, okay. Or you come to the studio with me and start writing. Where I'm in it knocking shit out. You said so. I'm like, man. So now I'm trying to bring him back to the studio at this point.
Good, man. I hope it works out, man. Because that name is dope as shit. That tells me this dude, he got something to him. If he can come up with names like that, he already had 2 dope ass names. That's a sign to me.
Right.
Of creativity.
So I get a lot of that from him too.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Yeah, get a lot of that from him. So
that's dope.
All right. So we know about Yukon Black.
Oh yeah. Right.
And Dragon's Pitchfork. But what made predate those?
Ooh, I don't think I want to share half of them. Shit. I'm gonna say the worst first, probably. There was a time just before Gravediggers hit. I was down in Hampton with my people down there. I was just learning how to make beats. I was just realizing I could probably do something with hip hop. So I was like, okay, let me pick a name. And we had this chick from Kentucky down there who rhymed like she was from up north, named Shady. Okay. She was doing some grimy stuff and she was doing some real dark stuff. And one day she did something that was kind of on that line of horrorcore or whatever. And somehow I think through a freestyle, I said Morbid the Immortal in a freestyle and that shit stuck. So embarrassing. The most embarrassing name was that bullshit. Then I was Then I was Short Axe, Silver Fox, Black Swallow.
Wow.
Overdose. When I was when I created the group called Track Addicts, I was like, what? I was Overdose. I forgot my other dude I was working with was taking the name Overkill. I don't remember it. Blackie Chan.
Quit playing.
Blackie Chan. Before it was said in the movie, I forgot what movie it was in, but I went by Blackie Chan for a minute. And I had a few names, man. I played fuck around, man. I had fun with that. I was free on front.
Wait a minute.
It was encouraged to take on aliases, man. So that's why when I'm talking about cinema, I'm like, I think about taking on characters and shit. Mm-hmm. I probably had a bunch that I forgot, man. But that's probably enough of a handful.
I told you, Yukon Black had you in my head as this 7 foot.
Yeah. 7 foot like, black lumberjack.
Yo, I swear, everything I love, man. When you ordered that shirt, I was like, he had to hit the wrong button, dog. There was no way I could believe that. I'm like, yo, nah. All right, well, I'm gonna send it, but I should just be prepared to make another one. It's just gotta be.
He's 4'11".
Yo, I'm like, yo, a name like Yukon Black, the Yukon?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's yeah.
It sounds like Damon says, you fell for my trap.
Right. Or like a Yukon truck, like anything you think about Yukon is big, right? And then black. Big. You know what I mean?
He's 4'11" with big hair and light skin.
Yeah. I'm
lattes in the evening.
Even when we started doing the zooms, I was like, yeah, that's just gotta be a weird camera angle, dog. He got everything in his house extra tall because he's so big. Yeah,
I shrunk my house. I live in a cardboard box, actually.
No, I was convinced.
My studio's a matchbox.
Yeah, I was convinced, though.
You remember Inch High Private Eye? That's me.
All right.
I ordered a medium. I was like, he was like 6'8". Ain't no way in the world a medium ain't gonna fit, yo.
Wow.
I'm gonna send it though, but yeah, I just had to have another one on deck. You know what I mean?
Oh wow.
Shit. Well, I guess we get a video from mid school in time to
pick they're like mid is
grab a name from him.
Yeah, but I was gonna say, you know, kind of keeping with our you don't spell anything correct in hip hop. Even our resident scholar has proven that. School, so if mid school don't spell it right, you know we all good. But you had any other names mid school? Well, we know banging on lunchroom tables. But any other?
That's dope.
I think banging on lunchroom tables. I'm like, damn, I wish I'd have thought of that.
Right.
Yeah, I had a few names. I had actually maybe four names, but first one. The first one is like the first two have some business issues. So I was in some contracts, whatever, and you know, it's sort of like that Prince symbol thing that happened.
Yeah. So
I'm still trying to work that out. I'll tell you off camera, you know, and then then like a lot of Googleable stuff there, and you can see like past works and all that, and the banging on some tables, you know, that was basically just, you know, the idea that, you know, when we make music in hip hop culture, people sometimes don't understand where we're coming from. It may sound like noise to them, but it's music to our ears. So like back in the day in high school or whatever, you banging on the lunchroom tables and people come by like, stop that. That's that noise. But it wasn't noise, that's us expressing ourselves. And that's what that was about. And then mid school. I want to just say also, you know, I never felt like when you know, those of us in hip hop spell our names in unique, original ways. I never thought of it as being wrong. I thought of it as articulating our sense of self. Like the same way, like, you know, people have the government name and they have the name they choose for themselves. Like, who decided that our names had to be spelled this way or that way? So I always thought of it as an original way of us.
I can tell you.
Sense of self, like that. So, and mid school obviously is like, you know, you got the old school, you got the new school, and then you got that mid school hip hop.
Get him.
Yeah, I thought
like that.
Mid school and banging on lunchroom tables were both dope as heck when I was
hell yeah.
Heck yeah, mid school, boy.
Much respect, man.
All right.
Oh yeah. I might have to bring out my old rap partner. He was his name was Theus Manstar.
I've been meaning to ask about him. You were you guys rhyme together?
Yeah, we used to be a group. I was his second group member, but he and I like had a group together for years.
Yeah, because he was with a dude named Ott before that, right?
Nah, Ott was cool. Like we were all part of the crew. Like we were all part of the same crew. Is the actual. He was the other dude he had a group with Vex the Vortex from Boogie Monsters.
Okay.
And he also had a crew before that called Raw Earth, which were just sick. Yeah, dope. But anyway, yeah, so like our old crew is like really interesting and diverse.
Y'all had an ill crew, man.
Yeah, we had a crazy crew. Like, I mean, and so the funny part of that is his ex-girlfriend, was Mecca from
Digable.
Yeah.
Word,
like
okay.
we all went we all grew up together type shit. You know what I'm saying? Like Colombia is a weird place.
I think I still got a disc in my basement with a beat called For Ot and Mister. No, Ot and Mister were a group.
Mr.
Right?
Yeah. So Mr. Cotton, that's his actual birth name. That's his real name, Mr. Cotton.
Wow.
Mr. Cotton is his actual name.
Okay. All right.
Like birth name. Yeah.
We have a Mista
name
in the family. Mista.
Yeah. But he's last I checked, he was up in Detroit doing shit with Fat Cat and them. But so yeah, they had a little crew. Theus and Mr. had a crew. Me and Theus had a group.
Damn.
Me, Theus, Kwaz, and a couple other cats. You know Kwaz. Kwaz is like one of the greatest producers on the East Coast who
he's amazing.
Just slighted himself or something. I don't really know. But yeah, like super dope producer, engineer, the whole nine. But yeah, so me and Theus had a group called Godstar because I was
Star.
Savage God and he was Theus Manstar, and so we came together and created Godstar and made a whole bunch of wild shit from there. But yeah, like
that's dope.
Hip hop was weird in the 90s.
It's always so interesting how like hip hop and comic books have so much in common.
Right.
Like as a rappers, we always gotta have our name. Like we gotta have that superhero name.
This the code name.
And I can know somebody for 10, 20 years. I just know them by their code name.
Right.
Yep.
Word. Exactly.
Yep.
I have friends to this day. I don't know their government actually.
Unless you went to school with them, you really don't. Yeah.
It's who you actually are. Like your government is your disguise. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's true.
Your alter ego. It's your Bruce Wayne.
Right.
It's how you hide in plain sight.
Right.
Exactly.
Yep. And here I am. I learned how to be my alter ego full time and hide my true self. And now I'm starting to come back out my show.
But it can take its toll on you too, because you know, my aunt would always tell me like you gonna find out about that demon shit, and she was right. I mean, I would like you get into not sorcery, but you read about sorcery, you relate to Spawn, you get the, you know what I'm saying? You become scheming demon, all around kind of morph into itself, and you're like, wait a minute, hold on. I am becoming the persona that I'm trying to avoid, but people name me that. So me saying Demond Deshaun was me saying, okay, I'm gonna name myself fine. You know what I'm saying? But that nickname stuff, all the other stuff, Moo, Moodov, all that, all that hood name stuff, you become that. I become that. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, all right, I'm tired of y'all naming me all the damn time. I'm gonna name myself, man.
That's Jake.
Right. Y'all names lead to trouble. I need to keep me straight.
Right. But then it was one of them was Mulatto Il Diablo. Mulatto, because my mother, she's light skinned. Most of the women, most of my mom's side is very fair skinned, light skin, long hair, and all that stuff. So that was Mulatto Creole part of it, and then the Illinois Diablo. So it was Mulatto Il Diablo. So it's ill to see, like you saying, savage is everywhere. You said that in the 90s. Like you hear mulatto, that little girl, she dropped the mulatto, she called herself Lotto. Demon, everybody demons now. It's like some of that stuff is in the ethos. We kind of put it out there. So even though we probably didn't make it to a certain level sonically, our names kind of ring out there some kind of way. I don't know. It's weird.
Yeah.
It's weird.
You definitely, I think what you put out there definitely has a tendency to make the rounds, man. It definitely has a tendency to make the rounds.
Especially with that. Go ahead.
Yeah, I mean, I mean, you kind of like you were saying, you know, my couple of cats I grew up in. Remind you, we was in the suburbs, yo, and these dudes just, you know, kind of took on these personas, and you know, for a couple of them, it caught up with them. You know what I mean? And like I'm again kind of thanking my dad. Like he was always real particular about certain stuff, even nicknames. Like he was real, like, you know, he called me Ra or Rock, like, you know, Ra short for Rashid, but like, you know, all them, you know, kind of like you were saying, them hood names.
Yeah.
Call me one of the, like, even my cousin, my dad, yo, his name is Rashid, yo. Like, we're not even about to introduce all that, and then the stuff that comes along with it. Ain't no man, you know what I mean? Right. I didn't understand it at the time, you know what I mean? But like, as you get older, again, you kind of start to understand some of that. But I'm like, you making much ado about nothing, you know what I'm saying? Like,
Right. Blackie was another one my family called me because I was the darkest one on that side.
Okay.
Wow, really?
Yeah.
Damn.
That's crazy, right? But it was a term of endearment.
A term of endearment, right? Yeah.
Choco, you know, chocolate boy. You know, people call you Choco. Like all that stuff would stick. This is interesting. Pitchfork would be something totally different in Chicago.
But that's the joint for the was it the Vice Lord or the GDs?
There you go, the GDs.
GDs, right?
Right.
What's that?
Yeah.
The Pitchfork.
Oh, the logo?
Nah, like that's one of the signs they make with their hands, like the GDs.
Oh,
yeah. And it's like, so I learned all that like between basic training and tech school. I might have told you like, I was in basic training with a dude from Chicago, and I was in tech school with another dude from Chicago. And like, them jokes, man, talking to them, they had me scared to go to Chicago. I'm never going to shit. Y'all motherfuckers is crazy. I'm never going out there. But like, you know, and just in that short period of time, just like learning, like listening to them talk, and like the first dude, the dude in basic training, I'm like, you know, everybody exaggerated about where they from, right? You always want your hood to be the toughest hood, right?
Right.
Yo, when the dude in tech school started telling me similar stories, I'm like, oh, yo, everybody can't be lying. You know what I'm saying? Right. Like, yo, everybody can't be lying, yo. But yeah. I remember. Like my man was like, you know, the pitchfork, you throw it up or throw it down. Like I ain't want to know. Like, don't you show me, dog, because I don't want to be no place.
But just the name alone, what up, Pitch? You know, Pitchfork, like that, he would already be associated with being that.
Right or wrong,
right or wrong. He wouldn't be able to do nothing about it besides change his name or move or something like that. You know what I'm saying? So,
God damn, I gotta be straight about it. I gotta be careful.
No, you good. You're right.
Yeah. So
it's different. It's different when you're older. It's different when you're older. You know what I'm saying?
Nah. When we go to Chicago, you going back to Yukon Black.
Right.
Yeah. I keep a dragon shovel inside of Black Yukon. Yeah.
We gonna go back to Silver Fox.
Yeah, we're not taking no chances. Matter of fact, we're not even doing butterscotch linens out there.
Matter of fact, I'm changing my logo right now. I got to go paint some new shit. I got to figure out how to turn that pitchfork in the logo to a shovel now, huh?
Yeah, man.
Dragon spade.
Right.
Oh, you racist.
Yeah, that's they all traps. Somebody get me for everything, man. I'm sure, man. I'm good at stepping on toes accidentally, man. That's my superpower.
Right. Here's something funny for y'all. So the beat for the Snake Pit is like a mad, slow, trappy type joint, yo. So I'm probably gonna get myself exiled from that joint, not intentionally, but my last probably 4 to 6 bars, and it makes I can talk about it here. So the way I decided I was going to approach it, I'm gonna deliver 3 different styles, like 4 to 6 bars each, right? So, because I can't, I struggle with that beat, yo. So I was like, bump it. So the theme of it though is going to be Martin as Bilal from House Party. So at the end of like every 6 bar, I'm like switch, and then the next 4 to 5 bars is going to be a different style. So the last 5 to 6 bars is going to be me going rah, like, and then kind of like I said, my pop used to call me Rah. So, but you know how like the rah or whatever. So I'm gonna be playing on that, but then doing this real kind of modern delivery, but with just punchlines, yo. And it's either gonna work or it's not. But I don't know what else to do in this. And then I gotta come up with a whole damn 16 bars that crack for Adonis beat. I'm gonna get at Adonis in that verse too. I'm gonna let him know, man. You ever pick
Okay.
Adonis, hold on, what happened? I'm not sure. I didn't catch this week's episode yet.
So for
Felipe, yeah. Felipe. Okay.
So like they got me on 2 trap beats this week, man.
What? 2?
The Snake Pit joint is kind of trap, and then Felipe's Garage is like a trap beat joint. Yeah.
Oh, you know the Big Crit joint.
Yeah.
Huh?
The Big Crit joint.
Yeah. Glorious. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Which
you get to stretch. You're gonna get stretched this week, huh?
And I realized something too.
What's that?
They didn't pick up on half the shit you were saying. The J.
What you mean?
Come clean.
Oh, and the Snake Pit.
Yeah.
I think they did. So
that's why you advanced.
I think like the funny thing with all of those is the audience is the audience, right? So if you happen to know person A more than you do more person B,
you gonna vote for who you know.
You might just side with who you know, regardless of listening. Like the one joint I sent, dude was like, "Yo, Vegas." I'm like, "Cool." And that sometimes what you say don't really matter. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So that's why, like, when I saw the numbers, I was like, "Oh, word, I'm out." Cool. And then the next day, when I see another message from them, like round 2, I'm like, this shit gotta be a mistake. You know what I'm saying? And then when they explained, I guess somebody asked a question, they replied back to them like, "Yo, the fan votes count, but at the end of the day, we going on whoever had the best bars."
Thank you.
Thank
you. That's all I was trying to say. That's all.
I feel you.
Right.
I feel, but that.
No disrespect to Jimmy Vegas.
But that was my biggest thing with me and you joint in the garage, and that was why I really wanted to have the opportunity to be like, "Yo, say what you said," so at least people could get it on the back end. You know what I'm saying? Minus the quality piece, because I felt like. In addition to the quality piece, I feel like it just lessened the impact of the whole thing. Like I feel like we gassed everybody up for this magnificent show, and then they got Shaq versus Brian Shaw. You know what I mean? Like, and it was.
Man, he just called me Brian Shaw.
No, that's not what I'm saying.
Wow, you see that?
For round 3.
Wow, monotone Brian Shaw, really?
I thought we had moved beyond this, yo. I thought we had moved beyond this.
Wait a minute.
My point is simply, my point is simply, what
he big Shaq.
That's my version of an S. You know what I'm saying? That's my version of an S.
Oh my God.
Nah, but all jokes aside, like it just didn't sit well with me. You know what I'm saying? Like I would, again, I don't want to win like that. Anybody that says the quality is a factor, I don't want to win like that. That to me, that's not a win. You know what I'm saying? That was my whole.
But
I'm with whatever. I'm with whatever. Like, you know what I'm saying? If we want to do a joint together and whoever got the best bars on that, if we want to just go at it again, I'm with that.
Yeah, something creative, something more creative than just having y'all go at each other.
I think one of the things I posted in the thing, I don't think anybody caught, was like, yo, pick a beat and give us a topic, and then we'll just do the song together. And then whoever had the hottest verse on that, you know, that's the tiebreaker. Like,
how about
I'm trying to get a song
on some hip hop shit and have T-Bear give y'all something?
Okay.
Off the wheels. And we'll do it here. Y'all do it here live not live because that the lag and shit.
Yeah, the problem.
I mean, Damon can even record his at Bear's house possibly.
All right.
Here we go with the little inside baseball shit.
Well, I'm trying to give it to him up
front,
you know, and then you sneak Alex in on your verse.
Here we go. There we go. There we go with the little secret handshake shit. No, I'm joking.
But this is why it works. You have to relish with being a winner as much as I'm relishing being a loser. I'm gonna explain this, okay?
I want to hear. Yeah, I'm glad you got. I want to hear this.
All right, because it was the time. The time worked perfectly. If you look when I gave you the sneak attack, behind that was coming. One time was coming behind that. You know what I'm saying? So the sneak attack was on a Friday. We dropping one time. I think that Saturday or something like that. Then I had the video and all that stuff.
Okay.
They play it get out there. Then day one come behind that. That was the 2 weeks behind that, had a little build up behind that. So it was all the momentum is all I was going for. Damon come out the side hatch and all that is winning for me.
Word.
I wasn't in the contest. He mentioned my name. You told me to mention my name. I just give him something to grow on. So as much as I'm okay with losing, I was just totally fine because they won. What's that? What came after that? One more came out there. Yeah. And I'm still in the contest, right? Still in the contest. They played it on the show at the end of the show. That's still winning. That's still winning. And like getting one vote or people even talking about it, like that's all winning. And now you have to relish with being the winner. So you kick me. You call me Brian Shaw. You Shaq. You gotta stay with that. You know what I'm saying? So stay with that. Sound quality or not, bad sound quality and shit on that. You should have got to the studio. You know what I'm saying? So relish in it. You know what I'm saying? You won fair and square. So
bro. My thing is at the end of the day though, it's
there's a lot of responsibility that
you know what I'm saying. But it's a respect thing. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Like I don't want you to have COVID so you can't play in the game. So I win by default. You feel me? I don't want to win like that. That to me that cheapens the victory and it lessens what I know you're capable of. You know what I'm saying? I wasn't writing your joints down on some old, let me just write this. Like my whole thing, once I heard it was like, yo, I'm trying to give him an opportunity to at least say some of the potent shit. And if he won't, I'm gonna do it. You know what I'm saying? And it wasn't out of anything other than respect. Like it'd have been different if I was like, I'm gonna just smack Damon around, period. If I thought that, like, you know what I mean? Like, again, I don't know Neeks, I don't know Nomadic. I didn't know what to expect from them.
Right. I forgot about Neeks.
I know what you coming with. So I knew, like, I wasn't going to take no half steps. And I had two choices. I could have did 16 bars of punchlines. I could have stretched it out. I had to gamble, right? But it was all about respect. It was like, none of them, after Tobias, I was like, I don't see me losing. I don't know these dudes, but that could be like a super inflated sense of confidence, or I just think I'm that dope. I know what you coming with, so I can't take a bar off. I can't. You know what I'm saying? And that was my whole thing. So when the sound quality joint had, I'm like, well, yo, we're gonna use the show to at least allow you in front of the people to get your joint off, and then we could have it out like that. No music involved, but just what was said, and then people could make a less biased judgment. You know what I'm saying?
That's not gonna happen.
And that's cool. But again, I don't like.
It doesn't work that way. I'm sorry. It doesn't work that way.
I know it doesn't. And again,
you gotta take the W. You got to take the W.
And I do, and I'm not trying to take no super high road thing. I'm simply saying, had I not thought the sound quality really was a factor, I wouldn't even care. If I didn't respect your pen game, you wouldn't even got that verse. So when I factor all those things in, I don't want to get the asterisk win. You know what I'm saying? I'd rather lose than take I don't want to cheapen your delivery, your product, and I don't want to overinflate my product because yours is being slept on.
But you gotta think of my
That's
position.
dope, man. Much respect on that concept.
That is he's very noble. But you have a home studio. For me to go to the studio and record that verse for Neek, it's not counterproductive at this point because these songs with Cookbook are coming out, right? So that's productive. All this is productive toward the goal of getting songs heard, not my verse. Like Mid-School was just saying, like, I hope, you're not looking for a Hot 16. I'm not trying to deliver Hot 16. I'm trying to give y'all these songs, concepts, bring y'all back to GRYSKLL. Same thing we trying to do. Like when Sha asked me, like, if you win, what are you trying to do? If I won, I'm gonna ride it out. I'm gonna go to the studio. Now it's something to ride for. But at the same time, I don't want to have to go to the studio and record a verse against one to dial. If I had a home studio, maybe so. Or I go to T-Bear's house and all that stuff. But that's cool. But the commitment factor for me to keep going in and murdering y'all, like, come on, man.
I feel you.
It's counterproductive for somebody like me.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's counterproductive for me because so much of my lyrics are coming harshly anyway. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to overkill you guys with some of that stuff are from verses. That Biggie, that whole I forgot whatever line it is. That's from a lyric. So I don't want to keep using that ammunition to slay people. You know what I'm saying?
Gotcha.
Like,
right.
But
not for you.
The battle shit ain't your thing. It ain't where your heart is at.
Thank you. It's not. I mean, it could be, but it's not. You know what I'm saying? But I know how to utilize it and make it seem like it. You know what I'm saying? Like, man, that was so crazy. You know what I'm saying? Demond sneak attack, and then I come back. I forgot about Neek. Like, that proves it right there. Like, okay, I got on there now, and then you play one more on that same episode. My girl was so excited. My mama is like, whoa, who is Cookbook? Now they listen to the podcast.
Right.
Now they listen to GRYSKLL podcast. See, that one person, I think it was one person voted for me. That's a fan. Like, he gonna look for Demond Deshaun music, not his verse. So that's all I'm saying. So
no, I feel you.
But wait, one more thing. Like you were saying, you won a contest back in the 90s. This is who you are. You have to. When the Lakers won the COVID, Jimmy Butler still played his heart out. He's still a champ. He played his fucking heart out, but he lost. But he lost because of COVID. Some people wasn't there because of COVID, but he still played his heart out. He gets credit. Second best is still best.
Better than everybody else. Yeah, I feel you.
So go ahead, champ.
That's admirable. No, that's admirable.
I get that now. That makes a lot of sense.
So when I say let's go, champ, I really mean let's go, champ. You're the one to dial.
I don't doubt your sincerity at all, bro. I never have.
Look at that. Like, now you're gonna deflect it. Look, watch.
No.
Don't deflect.
You know, we sent messages back and forth that nobody else saw.
Right, for sure.
You know what I'm saying? Sure. Like, at the end of the day, I wanted your best shot. I didn't want the Demond that didn't get a chance to deliver his best shot. That's all I'm saying.
That we want to get the best shot.
I feel you on that.
But check it out. People started dying. Unc passed away. Lil Cuz had a heart attack. The third week, Demond's sister passed away. Can you imagine me going to the studio to murder one of Dow, then Aaron, and I got to go clean up Unc, get his records, talk to Cuz, hug mama, da-da-da-da. go write a verse, kill it. No, wasn't no writing going on during this time. You know what I'm saying? It's kind of collecting these feelings and emotions for the next group of songs, real shit. So
right.
But
I feel, and like, and again, I'm being honest. I'm not even looking at it from that perspective.
See,
and I almost feel like I owe you an apology. You know what I mean? Because no, you missing my point, fam. Like,
what for the Brian Shaw?
No. Just like you.
I'm kidding.
Here we go. But nah, like
I'm messing around.
Fam, you know it's all love, bro.
But I know. It's so much love.
Yeah, but at the end of the day,
right.
Like I don't see anything else giving me that rush. Mm-hmm. Like, yo, I sat here, like you, and not only you picked up on it. You said I heard every joke they could tell about my gap. I sat here and said, "Oh yeah, watch this," and that's where that whole thing came from.
That was a really good one.
But it was all so much like I was literally like, I can't take a bar off. I can't take a bar off, and it was probably the ultimate respect I could pay you. And like I said, I'm.
Okay, I'm
from the song perspective, like I feel you on that 100% because I said from the door. Actually, you could go back and read the messages in the chat.
What?
I said if we gotta go song for song, I'm out. Like I don't have a song that I think can match one time or one more, not a solo joint. So if that's the bar, I'm gonna just hand him the trophy. And that again, that's just me being honest. You know what I'm saying? Like I think from a song perspective, I would listen to most of your songs before I listen to mine, depending on what mood I was in. Like your shit, get me ready to go to the gym. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. You know, I'd be in the gym on my clocking in like fuck it ain't even hurt. Like, and again, you know, I told you
I feel you 1,000%.
Like,
thank you.
I think you're the MOP to me. Like you're the MOP to my tribe. You know what I'm saying? So they're different lanes.
Wow.
But
it's my favorite two groups from the 90s.
Man.
If I'm about to go fight, you better believe I'm playing some Demon before I play One to Die.
Right.
I look that bitch, listen to my shit like, oh, brother, how?
Right.
You know? So philosophically, sit your little man. Oh shit.
Right.
So you know what I mean? That's.
But I must say that you definitely I played it for the other Demon. You know what I'm saying? So it was like, wow, this dude. I mean, I like nothing I could do, D. You know what I'm saying? He got me. You know what I'm saying? So yes, you definitely stepped it up. Keep it there. You know what I'm saying? So if that's what it took you to step it up, keep it there.
Y'all can hear me say, I'm done. Like until they do the tournament.
I know. That's one of my goals last year was to get into a contest, and it just fell into my lap with that time flex. And this year we had great scores. I'm like, okay, I'm gonna drop more songs. So now that's coming. So now it's kind of shed the contest a little bit more. They do reels. We got reels for that. So maybe I'm not saying to you should stop, but maybe it's drawing you so many different directions. Like you said, the Snake Pit, Felipe's Garage, but you got to ride it out now. You got to ride it out.
Oh, but the thing, I'm not. Yeah, but the thing, like you were saying, the beauty of it all is people are coming.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying. And like I applaud the Digest and Felipe's for almost every week they saying something about GRYSKLL. Shy, your joint should be going out in the next day or two because I still ain't sent them out, but I did get
when you ready,
the other joints mailed today.
I know how it works, man.
But to your point, Damon, like it's people that are listening and then reaching out, and like like I had a couple people like, I heard you in the garage, so you know that in and of itself to me is a payday at the end of the day, and I think Cook kind of knew that, and I think the Digest cats look at it the same way. So yeah, I definitely feel you on that.
That was a tremendous build up, though. It was a tremendous build up. I appreciate.
Yeah, it was good theater. It was good theater. Yeah,
very good, very good. Yeah. But no, you can't get the show. We got GRYSKLL. GRYSKLL will give them the show that they're looking for. disrespect to anybody or anybody else's show or podcast. I think that's what we're gonna have to find a way to nurture and not give so much of that away. As far as like, okay, where are they from? You know, that's we keep saying these GRYSKLL cats coming out everywhere. It's like, yeah, we want you to kind of think that. Like, okay, Demond was here, like, damn, the Bias was here, wait a minute. And one of Dow's still going, wait a minute, who making these beats? Wait a minute, who doing these scratch? Like, wait a minute. It's like bringing a little bit more toward our way versus giving it all to them.
Yeah.
Right. They were so let down. They were so let down. Man, I don't know if you heard it, Q, but they were so like, man, God damn. Not saying that your verse was so up here, and like you saying, you were ready for me. I'm down here, but the disappointment, there's hope in that disappointment. You know what I'm saying? There's like, damn, man. They try to remix it and all that other stuff. No, just leave it the way it is. Because the disappointment, there's hope in that disappointment. They're gonna root for me. You know what I'm saying? There's so much going on. And one thing I do respect that Cook didn't say like, oh, his uncle passed away. He just said some family stuff. He said something that totally, and yeah, you don't have to put that out there that's going on at the time. So, you know what I'm saying? So I do respect that at the same time. And that's real life stuff that he can understand why it didn't pop off like that versus the people. The people can, you know, sway either way sometimes.
Yeah, and I think the biggest thing coming out is for the people that may not necessarily appreciate my style. I think they were looking for you to be one.
I ain't gonna do that to mine. Nah. He ain't gonna get that to my brother. But you're right. They wanted me to come.
You know what I'm saying?
Right. They wanted me to come and hit you with all the modern.
Bro, I was expecting everything except for like foul shit. Like I was expecting all that Demond grittiness. And I had to offset it with wittiness. Like the wit offset the grit. You know what I'm saying? And I was telling Alex, like I sent Alex the lyrics. He was like, yeah, I didn't even know you said all this shit. I'm like, yeah, that's the problem. That's what I'm worried about. You know what I'm saying? Like that's what I'm worried about. Because like I said it weeks ago, I say it again. I knew I wasn't gonna be able to match. I couldn't out Demond.
No, you can't. No, not at all. But the one point when I went to the Patreon and I saw that one person vote for me, and that's when I poured some more sauce on it. I said, man, yeah, y'all voted for that dude, that extra mumbo jumbo. He had 2 weeks to motherfucking put 2 rhymes together, man. Y'all vote for it. Go ahead then. You know what I'm saying? Okay. For that one person that voted for me, he's like, yeah, that's exactly, man. You know what I'm saying? Okay. So you still gotta, you know what I'm saying, just not play the role, but be the role that you were when you made that, when I made that. So
and here's what's fun. I remember you telling me you did that, and I didn't realize what you was talking about until almost a week later. Like I replied to you almost a week later, and then like Neek said something, and like I'm like, yo, I wish I would have saw this closer to real time because it could have been more fun than just replying now. You know what I mean? But but it was definitely dope, man.
That was dope. That was the reason. It was pretty dope.
That's the reason I'm like I threw out the idea of the song, you know, because I'm like, I would really like to see what I would do on a song with you. Like somebody be like, here's a beat, have at it. I'm like, I think it could be dope. Or it could
come on in, because you fell for my trap anyway. I knew you was gonna go
hard.
What kind of beat we talking?
Right, let's
go. What kind of beat we talking?
One of them Q sliders.
Yeah, I whatever. Like, as long as this is 85 BPM or more, I'm in.
Yo, I mean,
I got you then.
Yeah, as long as it's 85 BPM or more, I'm in.
But even some mid school too.
Jamal, you got any requests? You got any requests for the beat?
Oh no. Like what? Like what?
Demond's secret power is he can write any fucking beat. That's
yeah. I'm not. Yeah, whatever.
You may remember when you said you was doing the Imperial Sneak Attack, if you go back and look at the tape, you'll probably see in my face, I'm like, here we go with this bullshit. in my head, all I was thinking was, he's gonna ride that beat so freaking lovely. It's not like Imperial beats are a little too slow for me. If I bought a beat from Imperial, the first thing I would do is speed that shit up by about 4 BPMs. Yep.
Wow.
I would.
Wow.
They're dope. They just they don't fit how I envision me delivering lyrics.
Okay.
And that's a mental roadblock I need to get past though, because it does limit me from certain stuff. But I knew going into that. That's why I had to get mine off first.
You know what's funny? That's what I was told when I first met up with Lord, was that's what he used to do to train MCs, was make them rhyme over really slow beats. So you'd have to really learn how to manage and handle a flow under any circumstance. A fast beat was pretty easy for anybody, but those slow beats, I heard they were a big challenge for a lot of people.
Well, the tempo, if we're being honest, tempo almost doesn't matter as much as the hi-hat and the snare does. Like a 85 BPM beat with 8 notes as a hi-hat sounds way different than an 85 BPM beat with 16th notes as a hi-hat. You can also be at 85 BPM and double the length of your drums so that it sounds like 42 and a half. So the drums really drive the energy of the song. And that if we get to the root of it, it's really the drums that most people struggle with, not so much the tempo. Because you
need some movement in the drums.
Yeah.
Depending on what the verse is going to be about, but the drums kind of set the tempo.
So when I was performing with the jazz band, I think I mentioned I performed with the jazz band for a good minute. But the drummer, he used to speed up and slow down just to fuck with me during live performance on stage, just to see if I could keep up. Like, he just and see if I could get the shit going, and then stop it on a dime and then slow down just to see if I could then keep that shit going. Like that drum shit.
Wow.
Like if you don't pay attention to what's happening with the hats or the kicks and the snares, it'll fuck you all the way up.
and that's like, at the end of the day, the drummer controls where the band goes.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter if the song is supposed to be 86 BPM. If I want to play at 90, guess what? Y'all coming along.
Unless
what?
Unless you have a percussive bassist.
Okay.
Like a bass player that's like percussive with that shit, they can drive it too.
Yeah, but then you got a little bit of a tug of war, and you better hope them two wasn't arguing before the show. Everybody else on stage gonna be fucked up. Right? Pick your poison. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, that's like, and actually, so when I moved high schools, the two different band directors at the two different schools were in a band together. So when I went to my new high school, I came in as, my reputation preceded me. I'm like this freshman, super hot drummer, ready to kind of fill the void for all the seniors that are moving on, right?
Right.
So when I get to the new school, like one of the drummers is dope, right? So they're like, all right, yo, let Owens get on, you know what I mean? So I hop on, I'm like, yo, I gotta hit them with a mean fill on this break. Man, I got into that fill and started rushing. The horns is clashing. Stop. And like, I learned that day that simple and on time is way better than complicated and all over the place. You know what I'm saying? But the drummer will drums will set everything else up or make everything else fail.
Yeah.
It's like Public Enemy. I mean, I used to think like, man, how did Chuck stay focused with all this madness going around? But it's like it's happening around him, but his flow pretty much stays in that BPM like that you're talking, and they can do whatever else around them. You know what I'm saying? I realized that as I got older, but the madness isn't so much madness. It's kind of helps him out. Helps his voice kind of set the tone to some of that madness stuff. So yeah, I can hear that. I can hear that conveying a little bit with what you do a little bit. So
Yeah, the drum. I know for drummers that it gets really boring for them to do hip hop. It's like the same thing, just the same thing.
Right.
And then the really talented ones, they know how to flip it, but keep it the same. They can they instead of like, you know, it is what it is, but then double it, but it's not really doubled. I don't know how to explain it. But I had a lot of experience with the drummers just wilding out. It's always like one drummer, he's just like, what are you doing, man?
Right.
What are you doing, yo? And I just stop and look at him. It happened a lot.
Yeah, you think about like hip hop at its core, drum like bass drum rhythms and what we know as swing, if you kind of produce, is what kind of drives the sound of hip hop. So if you listen to a lot of my beats, you'll know that I think I was explaining it on the Born beat. It takes everything in me to make the bass as prominent as it should be in boom bap, because I hate the idea of being trapped into traditional boom bap approaches to making beats. But so what you're talking about, mid, is like, so if you think about a snare drum, the snare is generally on 2 and 4.
Yeah.
Right. So most people are used to hearing it there, but you could do snare on 2 and 4, but on 4 actually play your snare as 16th. So you're on 4, not E, not N, but so boom cat, boom cat, boom boom cat. You know what I'm saying? And it's a drummer can hear what's happening and then already start to formulate. All right, I can get this off here. On my fill, I'm gonna do an 8th note fill on the first 2 times, then move to 16s on the floor tom. You know, I might do a cymbal crash on 4 as opposed to 1, or maybe I'll do it on 1 because they expect. But you know,
I don't know what you
still
just said. That shit was dope as hell.
Right.
That's what I'm
make that
saying.
a rap? Can you make that a rhyme? You said like to put the 16s on the 2s and to flip the drums. Put that on a rhyme.
That's mean. Yes.
I just got a statement to make. You're a fucking nerd. The end.
No, I'm a drummer. I'm a drummer. Like, I'm a drummer.
Music is math, man.
I'm saying I'm a drummer.
I would love to hear that like on a verse one day, just like breaking that down, like you just said, like the math and just all that on a verse. I thought you was rhyming for a second. You were rhyming actually.
Yeah.
I probably, that would be dope. And then they had the drums kind of like you were saying about the hi-hat. So if y'all go back and you might remember when I was talking to Kareem at his house, I was kind of saying like not necessarily the hi-hat, but I always rhyme like I'm playing drums. So, but yeah, that's a dope idea, man. I might try that.
Yes.
And then it actually had the drum patterns kind of mimic the lyrics.
And you put me on how to hear your beats, because your beats aren't really boom bap. It's somewhere in between boom bap and like abstract. Cause you now I hear what you're saying, because it's like, okay, boom, just like that Born beat. Like I said, it took me for Kareem
if you listen to Born and you're not paying attention, you're like, there's no bass drum.
It's all right, and that's what annoys the boom bap. Because some people's like, man, that's annoying. I get right to that, but because they looking for the boom bap, and the trap cat, they nowhere near that. They don't even know who Sam Cooke is. So it's kind of like, where does this belong? You know what I'm saying? It belongs at GRYSKLL. That's the answer. Exactly. But you know what I'm saying? But now I know how to hear your songs, your tracks. Wow.
He taught me how to hear his rhymes like that too. When he said that, when he said I patterned my rhyme style, I'm a drummer. And I patterned my rhyme style after that. It helped me understand his rhyme style so much better after that.
Right. How he connects the yes.
And how like you have little small words that normally I'd be like, yo, take that word out or stretch that out over, but he finds a way to put them in, sneak them in the little pockets where,
or he won't say nothing.
Is off, but then you listen to it like, oh shit. Just stutter stepped on that shit.
Yep.
He understands the pocket.
Yep.
Yeah. He finds the pockets within the pockets. He got that little tiny pocket on your jeans.
Yep.
He got that joint.
He'll just stop. He'll pause and let the beat boom, 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 and you know what I'm saying? Where like
But that's actually more medically induced than anything. So, like seriously, I have dysphagia, which is like the difficulty swallowing. So
okay. Yeah,
like I spent a couple of years learning how to rhyme with that challenge. So a lot of those times where there's like a pause is really me giving myself an opportunity to swallow comfortably without feeling like I'm going to be rushed. So I had to learn to write my verses like that though as well, which to Cook's point functions well, especially if I'm writing battle rhymes with punchlines. But so a lot of my ad libs are done in a way that they can kind of mask some of those challenges.
Okay.
But yeah, that's
because the way that I learned to write is because of my stutter. So I tend to get caught up on words, and so I had to challenge myself to actually find an instrument to attach myself to actually get my words out so I don't get stuck. You know what I'm saying? So that's like with this particular beat, like I figured out like the hats is where it's like, that's my pocket right there. Like I stick with the hats, then I can get it going and I don't end up stuck. You know, like I've always figured out a way to like find something to latch on to and feed off of that allows me to continue it going. So that's pretty dope.
Wow, that's very dope.
Think about in Dex Luger, Shah. I said, my style so syncopated, some confuse it with lateness. Because, you know, it's like, why is that there? That doesn't fit. No, it fits. It just may not be what you're used to hearing, but it fits. So if I put it there, it fits. Like, you know what I mean? But yeah, that's so that's where a lot of that comes from. Damon is like trying to make sure, especially if I'm performing that, and that's what I'm always thinking about, being on stage and having to be able to do this live in front of people. I need to make sure I'm giving myself an opportunity to breathe, which is also one of the reasons, if I'm being 100% honest, I struggle with those slower beats so much, because I almost feel like there's too much space there. So I have to find a way to fill it. So that's why a lot of those super slow beats, I don't really care for, because they almost put me in a place where I have to risk being able to deliver.
Okay.
Yeah. So there's definitely a science to it.
Okay. Wow, that is very, very, very educational. I learned a lot. That's very. But this is one of the reasons why I kind of like one of my favorite rappers is Noriega. Especially when he first started, he was so raw. The broken English, like mixed with Spanish a little bit. It was mispronounced words.
It's
like
you.
I would do that.
I can see that.
Right, that's why. Right, I would do that, especially when it's freestyling. You mispronounce words, you stumble over shit, or you just say something that kind of rhyme with the word. It's not even necessarily a word. You know what I'm saying? And that's why I kind of gravitated to his style as he perfected his style, as far as, you know what I'm saying, getting cleaned up and all that other stuff. But the whole, like the CNN album and all those early stuff, like I related to that style because that's kind of heard myself, like not being as polished as everybody else. Right.
That might be it. Because I think that's what I like when I listen to your stuff. Like you and Kareem both have this ability to make it clear that you really don't care. but that doesn't mean that you don't care about the craft. It's like this is what I'm going to give you, and you're going to like it. Like you're not gonna have any choice but to appreciate it. And that, like, that's where when I listen to your stuff, I'm like, I can't match that, yo. I can't match that. I can't. There's no way to beat him at that. Like your voice, your energy, and your delivery are like this is gonna sound real stupid when it comes out, but they were made for you.
You're right. It works. I get away with it, especially with the gap. Like you saying, it allows me to breathe. Like I said, I got hit with a baseball bat with the nose. I can't breathe. That kept me out of sports. That fucked up my basketball career. So even with rapping, you know what I'm saying? I have to take. I don't know what it does with the nasal thing, but it has its consequences, and it has its. You know what I'm saying? Same thing. I think like with Eminem, he's white, so he has that vernacular to manipulate words. Consciously manipulate words because of how white people pronounce words versus how black people pronounce them. He can blend those two together. So he always has something to say or there's something to reach to. It's he meshing shit together. I think that's what you're doing. That's what you're doing. And that's what I'm kind of doing as far as ailments concerned.
Yeah. Like one time, that to me, that was the dopest thing about One Time. Like, I remember hearing it, and I didn't know you at the time, but I remember your voice first. I remember the way you rode that track. Not One Time.
Talking about on the mixtape.
Yeah, that was One Time. I'm thinking One More is the one more. Yeah, it was One Time.
The mixtape.
One Time. Wait, that was on the hip hop.
One Time is the one from the mixtape. Yeah. Yeah. But I remember how you rode that. But I remember the story and it being so freaking believable. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like that
shit crazy. That's crazy.
And I couldn't relate to it. You know what I mean? Like I knew it wasn't my story, but I knew it was somebody's story, and I knew it was based on some level of truth. I don't know how much. I didn't, you know what I mean? But it was so.
Yeah, you gotta.
It was again. But hands down the best song on the joint. But I remember like, yo, who is this dude? And then like when we started to build.
That's good to know, man, because I felt like nobody heard me on that shit. I'm like, wait a minute. They put like 3 of my songs on there. I was like, oh, wait a minute. But then it just sat there.
The first joint, the first joint didn't move me as much.
Yeah, that was
the first joint.
That was forced. That Dreams with Bulgari Blackbeat. Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, but one time hit me in the face the first time I heard it, yo.
Oh my goodness.
And then like I said, to find out that you was the voice of the hook on the Chain Gang drum.
Oh yeah,
that was a genius, yo.
That's one of my favorites because everybody was on there.
Yeah, I like that joint. Yeah.
That's a great mixtape, man.
The dude that brought the rear up really bombed that joint, but yeah, that song was dope though. Yeah.
All right. So mid school, what do you think about these dialects that we're talking about? You know, to hide our ailments or to add on to our creativity?
Well, I don't think it's hiding. There's this idea called translanguaging. And what
you said translanguaging mid school? I'm sorry, translanguaging. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And the idea behind it is, where am I? The idea behind it is like that when somebody's, it used to have this term called what do you call that? What do you call that? You know what I'm talking about? Like
when they breed stuff together, crossbreeding?
No, like
cross-pollination?
No, I forgot. It's the old one. Like cross talk or cross register. Oh my God. It's like, for example, you know, 1 minute, you know, part of me, if I'm, you know, speaking out of turn or whatever, but 1 minute you speak in hood. And then
code switching.
Code switching.
I'm supposed to be a linguist and I forgot that. So 1 minute you speak in hood, next speaking, you're speaking so-called proper. I disagree with both of these terms. You know, well, the term proper, I really disagree with that. My whole essence is against that whole term. But they call that code switching because it's like, yo, 1 minute you're talking about like, this is the hood talk, and then the other minute you're saying proper. I have a problem with the whole thing. I'm just using that to continue the conversation. But now it is another common idea is the idea that like, there is no switching. Whatever you articulate is a part of yourself. So the entirety of yourself may have this register or that way of speaking, and this is the entirety of yourself. So you're not switching anything. This is all part of me or part of you, and you're articulating it. So I think that's just a beautiful way. Like if you speak, for example, I speak Spanish and I speak, you know, Portuguese, then I'm rapping a little bit of that, a little bit of that. I've dropped some knowledge from Applied Linguistics. I dropped some knowledge from BK, like that, whatever. And you might, you know, I'm not even switching. This is the entirety. I can't say everything within only one register. You know what I'm saying? So I think that's the end. People is the idea also that that's a unique type of genius. That's a unique type of genius because not everybody can do that. Because you can tap into like the lemonade plus the guava juice and the jalapenos and the tomatoes and just make that new kind of food that nobody else is able to make. But I think that's a form of genius right there that needs to be explored and to continue to be explored. That's just a sign of genius.
My wife does that shit and doesn't even realize she does it. Like she cooks. So she's from, like, we grew up together. We've known each other since 4th grade. So we both share this weird fucking Columbia accent, whatever you want to call it. And I have a Baltimore accent as well because my dad's from Baltimore. My mother has a Virginia accent, so I have some of that as well. But she can go from Columbia, Maryland to Brooklyn, New York, you know what I'm saying, to Dominican, to whatever, just based on who she's like actually conversing with. You know what I'm saying? Like I can tell who she's on the phone with by the way that she's talking, and she doesn't even know she's doing it. It just happens. You know, it's like as soon as she's talking to somebody, you know, like, oh, she's talking to such and such. You know what I'm saying? She's talking to her mother, she's talking to her Jewish friend, whatever. Like she doesn't know that she's doing it. Like, and I'm like, do you hear it? She's like, wait, what are you talking about? And then like, I don't even know what her actual voice fucking sounds like. You know what I'm saying? Because like she's constantly like, and plus she has clients from all over the world and she picks up from them as well. You know what I'm saying? So she might sound like a Dutch person the next minute. And it's like, she doesn't see it happening. It's just there, like, cause she's a linguist, you know what I'm saying? And she knows language. Like I can read and write languages, but I can't speak them. Whereas she can, like, she learned French by going to France. You know, she just does that shit naturally. Like she actually gets into it by being involved in it and absorbing it, and it just becomes natural to her. So she can speak German and French and Spanish and Brooklyn and Columbia and, you know, Baltimore, like wherever she is, she just flows into it. We haven't figured out the Southern thing yet, but she's working on it.
Did you ever use her, like recording, like having her to say something?
Nah. Nah.
I'm trying to get like my boys to come to the studio, just say some shit, you know? Yeah, you sit there and talk all this other stuff, like Raul would just sit there and talk Spanish all day. As soon as you put a microphone on them, from like, no, I speak perfect English now, you know, whatever. Come on, man. Come on. Stop it. Like, come on.
Your name is Raul.
Right, your name, right. Come on, man.
Peace, my people. It's your boy, the most fabulous T-Bear 183, coming back at you with that replay value. Going over joints. It's not necessarily classics, even though most of them are, but they got good replay value, stuff that you want to listen to over and over again. So there's a reason why I said not necessarily classics, because some things I believe, I'm not gonna say some things, let's start with I believe your joint gotta be out there and gotta be on repeat and things that people go back to for a good length of time before I would consider it to be a classic. So this one I've really only had for about a year or two. Can't exactly remember exactly when it came out. Skyzoo, Milestones. Boom. This joint here, and as you see on the picture, the cover, you got Fishburne and doggone, what is this dude's name? Anyway, man, the joint's from Boys in the Hood. You know, Trey, and Furious Styles. First, hold on a bit. I got to do a sidebar right quick, man. Furious Styles is the dopest name you could ever come up with for a character. I'm like, man, I'm so mad it ain't nobody came out as that as their MC name yet, because Furious Styles is just, that's a phenomenal name. But anyway, let me get back to what we talking about. Skyzoo, Milestones, man, this joint here, and you know, once again, let me get into, you know, you got your color vinyl joints, you know, you don't have to have color vinyl for me. I'm cool with the black ones, and honestly, if you actually DJing, it's easier to see the grooves on a black record. But once again, I'm slipping away. Skyzoo, Milestones. The theme of this joint is basically a father talking to his son, or it's about parenthood and fatherhood, and you know, off that old EDOG, be a father to your child type stuff. Talking about, it's encouraging brothers to, you know, so you done had this kid with your girl, you done had this son with your girl, y'all may not be together no more and what have you, but yo, go back and get your kid. You know what I'm saying? If she rock with him the first few years, by the time your boy is 10, go back and get your son and finish raising them, because, you know, sons need their fathers. Daughters need their fathers too, but you know, real talk, sons need their fathers, yo. So it's stuff like that. And it's like a constant theme. Every song in here is about being a father, being a parent. And it's not like real preachy, like it's just on some old real talk stuff, on some old real business, like you and your guy hanging out talking, and he's just like, yo, you know, we need to get it together, and that's all it is. And if you rock with Skyzoo long enough, you know that the boy loves jazz, so everything, this is like a real mellow album. It's nice and smooth to listen to, all jazz samples, you know, nothing that you're gonna fall asleep off of, you know, but it's just some dope cuts on here, for real. And you know, like I said, I've only had it maybe a year or two. Yeah, it came out in 2020. So I had it a year or two, you know. And when I first got it, man, I was playing this thing every day. At least for about a month straight. It's not too long neither. It's only about, what, 7 songs? Short album. Maybe a half hour, maybe. So, you know, get him as a half hour. It's on and off before you do your commute to work, but it's dope enough that you can listen to it again and again. You know, it's not a boring album at all. I like it, man. Skyzoo, if you ever heard this man rhyme, you know what, I'm gonna save my opinion of what I would say. I'm gonna save it for later. We can bring it up later, but let's just say the boy has a dope pen style. He's dope with the wordplay. You will never be bored. You will always be amazed at some of the things that he say, double and triple entendres and what have you. So the boy is mad clever. His vocal tone, his tone of voice kind of sort of reminds you of somebody else who you wish came like that all the time. I'll just leave it there, you know. And then once you listen to Skyzoo, if you haven't listened to him already, you can kind of figure out where I'm going. But I ain't really trying to cause no controversy like that. I'm just saying, it's dopeness. Skyzoo, he's another one of them brothers. You can pretty much blindly grab anything that got his name on it. And you know, I'ma always tell you, buy you a copy. And even if you hear him in interviews, he will tell you, purchase the album. He don't care so much about streaming, just like myself. But you know, purchase the album, put the money directly in the artist's pocket. That's what we trying to promote here. You know, pay the man. You will definitely be satisfied with this album, and pretty much any album Skyzoo ever made, you'll be satisfied with. The boy is dope. Hop on board. I highly recommend. Dope replay value, high replay value. Go and get you some. Until next time, my peoples. Later.